Watch a car fill up at the pump, and it's easy to assume you're looking at the main profit engine of a gas station. But the real money isn't flowing into the tank, it's ringing up inside the convenience store. This diagram illustrates the reality of retail gasoline. Out of an entire gallon, the station owner's net profit is a remarkably thin sliver, usually between 5 and 15 cents. At those margins, gasoline acts strictly as a loss leader. Its entire purpose is to serve as a massive magnet, pulling thousands of passing cars off the highway and onto the property. But extracting wealth from that captive audience is complicated. Building a successful business here requires navigating highly restrictive supply contracts and taking on severe physical liabilities. Buying a gas station means purchasing an aggressively diversified retail ecosystem disguised as a fuel depot. The math flips entirely once a customer walks through the front doors. For every dollar spent on convenience store items, the station captures 30 to 50 cents in pure profit. That high yield relies on a specific inventory mix. Products like energy drinks, tobacco, and alcohol provide the necessary markups to offset the razor-thin margins out at the pump. The smartest operators scale those margins across the entire lot. Adding a car wash introduces a high-volume service with minimal labor overhead, converting a huge percentage of its sales directly to the bottom line. Leasing excess space to quick-service restaurants, local food trucks, or placing ATM terminals further maximizes the revenue extracted from every single square foot of real estate. An operator survives volatile wholesale fuel spikes by successfully stacking these diverse high-margin channels. Yet all of this cash flow sits directly above a massive physical threat to the business: underground storage tanks, or USTs. Lenders heavily scrutinize tank construction. Older, single-walled steel tanks are prone to leaking and nearly impossible to finance. The standard is now double-walled fiberglass. This construction houses a continuous monitoring system in the wall cavity, detecting moisture instantly and preventing fuel from breaching the soil. To verify the ground is clean before a purchase, buyers order a Phase 1 environmental site assessment. If the property has a suspicious history, a Phase 2 assessment physically samples the dirt and groundwater. Skipping these deep physical audits is a fatal error. Inheriting a contaminated site triggers federal cleanup mandates, a sudden expense that will bankrupt a new owner overnight. Buying an established location usually means inheriting a jobber agreement. This binding supply contract dictates your wholesale fuel pricing, enforces minimum monthly volume quotas, and frequently locks operators in for a decade or more. Signing with a major national brand provides valuable fleet card networks and marketing support. Running an unbranded station sacrifices that corporate backing, but gives the operator the freedom to hunt for cheaper wholesale fuel and widen their margins. Because these convenience stores handle massive amounts of physical currency, evaluating their true profitability is difficult. Internal profit and loss statements are easily manipulated. A safe acquisition requires a rigorous financial audit. Buyers must cross-reference official tax returns against hard evidence, actual bank deposits, point-of-sale register tapes, and fuel delivery bills of lading. Locking in a favorable supply contract and verifying the actual revenue with third-party paper trails is the only defense against buying a structurally flawed operation. When structuring the actual purchase, buyers choose between two real estate models. A fee-simple transaction means buying the operating business and the physical land, granting maximum control and commercial tax deductions. Alternatively, a leasehold structure allows an investor to buy only the business and lease the real estate. This drastically lowers the upfront capital requirement, but ties the long-term survival of the station directly to the length of the lease and base rent. The Small Business Administration heavily funds both paths. An SBA 7A loan is standard for leasehold acquisitions, while the 504 loan program locks in fixed rates for fee-simple purchases. To approve these loans, banks enforce strict criteria: a 15 to 25% down payment, a flawless environmental report, and 3 years of verified tax filings. Gas stations operate as highly diversified cash machines hidden beneath a fuel canopy. Accessing that cash flow simply requires mastering the retail margins, securing a viable supply contract, and ensuring the liabilities stay safely buried.